so much for welcoming me. It's always so exciting to talk to young people all over the world. And like our main speaker, Guy said earlier, that there is a new world order. I believe this is it. All of you here, us right now, trying to come together and do something better for our world is part of that new order. We're going to see young people come together, think, collaborate, and show us what we can do better. So thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to talk to all of you. I hope you fill up the comments with some of the things I'm saying. I'll be very excited to hear your ideas, your input, and your opinions about the work I'm doing, but also how do you see yourself being involved in this work past this conference? Because I think this is really the big key, and this is why we have come together here today, because we want to learn from each other, and then we want to begin our own journeys into some amazing work that you guys may want to do after this conference. So I welcome you all. If it's your nighttime, I hope you got dinner. If it's your morning time, I hope you had some tea or coffee. And if you're in the middle, I hope you had some ice cream or some hot chocolate wherever you are. So let me get this started. The first thing I tried to do was share my screen, and I uploaded my PPT. Are you guys able to see my PPT? 1 second. 1 second. Computer's frozen. Okay, it seems like the Zoom on my end is a little frozen, but I'll just start talking. So the title of my speech is Hope Over Real. The first thing I would like to do is help you understand this title. You know, you're all gathered here today, and you will be meeting tons of speakers, and you're meeting people from all over the world, and everybody's talking about something. The one thing I highly encourage you to do is maybe ask your speakers or the people you are meeting who are speaking with you, you know, why did you pick this title to talk to young people from all over the world? Because title of anybody's speech is very, very crucial, because it sets the tone about how they see their work and why. So the title of my speech today, and it's the same title when I spoke at Cambridge University in 2019 when I was invited. This was the title of the speech then. So you're getting something I spoke at Cambridge, but I'll talk about it a little bit differently here today. So Hope Over Real, the reason you have this title is because you have to understand that as part of being difference makers in our world today, what you're going to bring everywhere you go is really hope, right? As you walk in the field to want to help people, as you walk in your projects where you want to make a difference, whether it's an SDG project, whether you're walking in to make a difference, what you're going to see is that you're going to be the person that's going to be the hope of the real situation there. You are hope over that situation, because people are counting on you to be the difference maker. They're counting on you to bring ideas of change. They're counting on you to sound different than other people have sounded. And what that means is that you are placed now in a leadership position. And what is leadership defined in this area? It's somebody who has the character, the morals, the ideas to make a difference. And that's leadership in this area. So this is why I'm trying to share my screen. Give me 1 moment, please. I was able to do it earlier. 1 second. Try again. So sorry, I'm not still able to share the screen, but I will continue with my talk. But what I'm trying to say is that hope over real is ultimate, is that the hope is you. You, the young person, you, the person walking into a field in Nepal, and you see a group of people who have been subjected to child marriage, who have, they don't have economic means, or my campaign in Africa to work on anti-FGM during the pandemic. As you know, that FGM doubled in some areas of countries that practice it. You know, they are calling you during the pandemic to help them launch a strategy, and all you hear is their difficulties and their challenges and how they're not able to convince, and what strategy can you give them that they haven't tried yet. Whether it's my work in India with human trafficking victim organization that works on reforming victims back into society. If you know anything about human trafficking, I think it is one of the biggest problems globally today. Human trafficking as a number earns 99 million to a billion in revenue. It is the most profitable business, still successful today. Deep sight the efforts globally to stop it, whether it's child labor, whether it's women, and women and children are 75% the victims. So what I'm trying to say to you is when you see all these numbers and all these difficulties, you are the hope that they're looking for. You are the person that they have called to try to do something. And this is the title of this talk today.
Miss Lucy, sorry, you can try again to share your screen.
Yes, I'm
You're
trying,
able,
but
supposed to be able to share.
yes, I uploaded it and then it is frozen now. Could you give me 1 second? I can't. Give me one. One second. Let me. Yes, I'm trying to share the screen, but it is not. It is not letting me. Give me 1 second.
Another option will be for you to send the document to Rodrigo, and I don't know if someone can help you, or someone like him or me help you upload the document.
Yes, it could be too.
Problema.
Okay, looks like she came out from the meeting. She lost the connection, or maybe she has a problem with her computer. You're on mute, Guy.
I think she's having some challenge with internet. Her internet is the, or maybe the Zoom or the internet. So while we wait for her, I just want to seize this opportunity while you, Rodrigo, you want to connect with her as, and let me know when she gets back. I could go ahead and start talking to some of the delegate, just sharing the importance of having to participating in a program like this one. So I know we you have delegates as young as 9 years old, right? Well, I think there's some of them was as young as 9 years old, and we have all practically the whole universe, the whole planet here, people from all across the globe. So this is very, very, very important. So the few things I would like to share with each of the delegate is that this is an opportunity for you. When I heard Lucy, the speaker yesterday, speaking, the speaker, she was telling you that it is, yeah, the speaker was telling you yesterday that she wished when she was your age that she would have an opportunity like this one, right? Because you actually are in a very unique position, being able to, from your home, from your room, to connect with 300 more young people like you from across the globe is an opportunity that we need to seize as we move forward. When I know many of you also have received a scholarship to participate in this program, and I think all the facilitators, all your chairs have been strongly advised to recommend that you join our YouTube channel. The YouTube channel and YouTube Peaceland YouTube channel and the Peaceland Facebook page are one of the ways that we would like to keep in touch with you. I think Rosie is coming back, but while she's coming back, my last word to you, delegate, is that you really strongly, I think before the end, we're going to talk about Peaceland, which is an initiative of ours. So Rosie, as soon as you're ready, let me know, okay? I'll just engaging the student while waiting for you to come back. So delegate, to make sure you join our Peaceland initiatives. Basically, a Peaceland Village is just a group of 25 people that are committed to use the principle of established first taught by Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. King to bring change in their community. So, and it's when you have a group, it could be a physical group, geographical group, or just people like-minded people from across the globe. So each one of you will be advised to create a Peaceland Village. Yeah. Rodrigo, let me know when she's ready, okay? Yeah.
Yes,
So,
I think that she's ready now.
Okay, are you ready, Rosie? Okay, yeah. So please delegate. Yes, I think Rosie was able to get her presentation ready, and I think this, again, this presentation was first presented in Cambridge University. There's no better than that. So you are having the real opportunity to talk about change makers, and I was very interested about her. The fact that she's been in, in recent Myanmar is in the news in the last 2-3 days, and she knows that area very well. And I think that her work over there, her commitment to end human trafficking is something that each one of us here will find very interesting. So, Rosie, are you ready? Yeah. Okay. I think she's
Can
still.
everybody hear me? Okay.
Okay, yes, now I can hear you. Okay. Yeah, I'll just engage in the student while waiting for. Okay, I'll turn over back to you. Thank you so much.
Yes. Okay, so sorry about that. I don't know what happened. So I was
Technology,
talking about that when you
just
talk.
adapt.
Yeah. Okay. So, like I was saying, this title is really about, can you see wherever you are that things can be better? Can you hope that you are the difference maker? Can you hope that leaving something alone or walking away from a problem is not the answer? And when I say hope over real, can you amplify other people's voices, experiences, their stories with respect and truth telling? And also, hope over real is about, can your methods be ethical within humanitarian frameworks? And ultimately, what I'm saying to you is, when I say hope over real, the ultimate hope is you. Can you really be the hope wherever you are? Because it's going to be hard sometimes to look at the chaos, the problems, the people around you, and give them something to look forward to. And many times you're going to walk into places, you have a huge responsibility. You know, when I walk into the field to do field work, or when I receive phone calls or inquiries to take on projects, you know, the people that you can help that are reaching out to you, if you are not able to apply moral and ethical methods, whether when it's talking to them, designing your project, launching your project, the many people that you can help, if these things are not there, you can also hurt them. And that is a huge responsibility. And that's what the title Hope Over Real is really about. Now I will dive into the talk a bit. So the next PPT is about what theories influence this work. Well, I came from Colombia. I worked in business 17 years prior to going to Colombia. I actually did many projects within the university, outside the university, within New York alone, learning and developing the ways that I wanted to work. You're going to need some theories, something that influences your work, that drives your passion, that gives you the inspiration to move forward. So for me, those theories are, if you are into peace and conflict, I urge you to look at Johnson and Johnson. If you're into power and understanding how power and structures impact people and their behaviors and their decision, I urge you to look at Mary Parker Follett. If you are into the base of your work is into helping people get along and become better than where they are, helping them rise within their own country political context, I really urge you to look at conflict resolution, particularly by Morton Deutsch. It is a huge center at Columbia University that has won awards, and it is the leader in finding and helping resolve conflicts globally. The other person I urge you to look at is mediation, and how mediation shapes the way you can help people win your ideas. Because many times you're going to go in front of your professors, your teachers, the field work that you're trying to do, your ideas are completely new. And how do you win people into your ideas? How do you persuade people to give your new thinking a chance? How do you go in front of a group of people who live different from you, different cultures from you, and present what you're trying to do that you think you can help them? All that requires not just communication skills, but mediation skills, conflict resolution skills, understanding of peace and conflict, understanding of power and resistance, and all those interdisciplinary approaches help build your work. Okay. So the next PPT I like to focus on is what other strategies other than theories, right? Because you can talk about academic theories all day, but there's got to be other parts of you that come alive. These parts are the way that you kind of shape your personality. It's the person you are when you're done giving your idea, you know? So I really highly encourage you find people and resources that inspire you. Some of the things that really inspire me is negotiations, learning how to do win and win strategy. There's an amazing book out there called Talent Code. I encourage you to read that. There are some authors that I've listed whose work that I borrow, whose words that I will use to convey and to reach people of all different backgrounds. Because learning to be the smartest person in the room is not always where you want to be. Where you want to be is the person that other people see as open-minded. Where you want to be as other person, they can see themselves in you. And that's not always your intelligence. That's not always your ability to do math or science or develop a program. That's really just your ability to be human. What that means is when somebody is delivering a problem to you, what is the most humanitarian way with your words, with your style, you can give them hope wherever they are in whatever they're trying to accomplish. Many times, many projects that I receive requests for, many people are asking for things that sound and look unbelievable. I have a active project going on in Nepal for the last 3 years on child marriages. I mean, the woman that I'm working with sees that her village can stop child marriages. You know, we've been successful to a degree, but this is a long-term process that will, unfortunately, due to cultural reasons, will take time to get where we are. It's not that we talk to people today and people stop doing these practices. There are economic forces that drive these practices. There are cultural reasons that drive these practices. There are lack of education and resources that force people to sell their girls into marriages. There are health equity reasons because parents get old and sick and they don't have money and they don't have health care and they have young girls at home and they really have no other means to support them. So they look for marriages or other arrangements to have their children be taken away. So when you look at the issue from a globally minded perspective, instead of just people making bad decisions, you really begin to understand that in order to do this type of work, I highly encourage you that intelligence is great, but being human is actually 150% times better because you're going to win more people. Your ideas are going to be heard more. You're going to be respected more because of your open-mindedness, because of your gentleness, because of your calm approach to things, because of your ability to build other people up. If there are attendees joining today and you're the person your friend calls on you when you feel down, you are the difference maker that Nepal community needs. You are exactly the type of personality that they first need in order for them to believe that you are the right person that they can. So all these human qualities of being gentle, emotionally agile, emotional intelligence, learning about suffering and rising from suffering, all of these really influence your ideas, they influence your work, and they influence the way people see you and your ideas and your work before they give you an opportunity to implement solutions. Okay, and that's what Hope Over Real is really, really about. So what, to go into what our presentation is it's about today, is when you're trying to do the type of work I do, you know, what are your goals? So before I take on any project, before I work with any community, and all these communities are different from the democratic background I grew up in United States, I never know what it's like to go hungry. I've never had to worry about human trafficking. I've never had to wonder, do I have a school that I can attend, right? So when you live in the country and where you are in the comforts of your home with technology, music, Hollywood, Bollywood, shopping, cars. You know, you're surrounded by all these resources, and this is where you live. This is where you are. You have ample of opportunities. But the population I work with and the projects that I have done, I have never lived like them. I have never suffered like them. I have never seen my old parents be so sick that I can't get them health care. I've never seen a young girl cry because she has to get married and now she has nowhere to go. Okay. So when you're working with population that lives completely different from you, they have had a different life from you. They're actually smarter than you in their local context. They know how to survive. They know clearly what their options are. So when I look at my work, what do I think about? I think about practical peace building. The questions I ask myself in that moment with that project is, you know, what is the peace that I can bring here? How can I accomplish peace building in this setting of suffering, lack of resources, no governmental support? How do I bring what they need in front of them so they can help me amplify it? This is another thing. I never bring solutions. What I do is I bring open-ended ideas, because ultimately the people with the problems are the people with solutions. They design the solutions. We empower them to work with us to design solutions for their country, for their idea, and because they have the intelligence way more than us sitting in our home countries with our computers and our coffees, reading our theories. They know how to implement those solutions and grow them and create a success out of them. The other thing that influences my goals when I'm working with people is thinking about, you know, mindsets. Can I really influence their mindset? Do we put more time into influencing people? Can we put more time into winning their yes instead of no? Okay. And the last thing, the goals that I'm always trying to achieve is conflict resolution initiatives, our expectations from what we see in front of us. And it really goes back to the title. Do you see hope? Do you see hope where you are? Can you see child marriages ultimately being stopped? Can you see the 150 girls that went through FGM in matter of 2 months from the NGO that's calling you in complete terror, in complete given up state? Do you see hope for them to keep going? Without money, without resources, without strategy, can you bring hope in those situations? Okay. So the next part is I kind of want to introduce young people here to high order thinking. If you learn anything from my presentation, please take this slide and look at it. This is the way that we need to, well, at least I have had to kind of design my projects, my ideas, and also the way I express those projects and ideas to, again, completely different people. The people I'm working with did not go to Columbia University. They did not go to Cambridge. They did not have the privileges of education and equity. Okay, they did not come from stable government environments where fairness and human rights and everything is already in place and they don't have to fight for it. Sometimes the people you're working through are coming from countries and backgrounds where those things have not been labeled yet. So you always want to keep higher order thinking in the background in the way that you approach a problem. It has tremendously helped me. And if you explore it, I really hope it helps you. Sometimes one of the things that you will have to do ultimately is look at the puzzle in front of you. And for me, because my work is in conflict background, some of the things I do right away is I do a conflict analysis immediately, which is a process report that you learn how to do throughout your major in conflict resolution. is you learn to really analyze the country, the problem from various different perspective to really understand how your solution is going to work, and when it works, who is going to keep building your solution. It's never enough that you design one solution. You always want to think, who can build on my solution? And particularly the locals that you're working with, can they continue building your solution? Because you're not there, they have to live there. They are still living through the problem that they came to you with well after the solution has been established within their own countries. The next thing you want to look at is a conflict sensitivity analysis. Again, a very highly organized report writing approach to look at the projects that you want to do. Again, all of this is just you getting ready to kind of give somebody your solution, you getting ready to speak from a knowledge perspective about what you want to work, what problems you want to solve. We are not anywhere near where you can now have an idea of what you want to do. This is all you gathering everything you need to design your project, to work on an SDG, to go to your school with a community or a setting that you want to help in. You're going to kind of have to know these things, because the people listening to your ideas have to be convinced that you know exactly or closely what they are going through and what are their challenges from your perspective. Sometimes in doing these two things, you are actually even telling them challenges they don't even know about. You are actually informing them of the challenges that are upcoming that they haven't really thought about as a result of your solution. And that has become a tremendous impact in the way that I've been able to build projects globally. So I encourage you to look at these reports briefly, and maybe you will find a way to use them in some of the aspirations that you may have. So I think, just for time purposes, I will quickly go over the one thing you have to understand in this type of work is you have to understand oppression and resistance wherever you are. And it really is the language of the world and the areas that we live in, wherever we are. Oppression is really coming from sometimes culture practices. It's coming from the way that they have always done things. Sometimes it's coming from local governance. Sometimes it's coming from lack of resources and equity in basic human needs. For what are basic human needs? Water, okay? The community I work with Nepal, with child marriages, well, you would think that's the only problem. No, they have been without water their whole lives. Their community has no water. They have been working on a water project. There is food insecurity. When I visited Nepal and I took a group of youth from China to Nepal for the first time, one of the biggest shock that they heard was how people there plan to eat every other day. There's not enough rice, there's not enough food for them to eat 3 times a day, let alone every day. They have had to learn how to make their food last long, okay? So this is a level of oppression. It's food insecurity. They have been sick, they have a common cold, but they cannot get over-the-counter medications because they don't have the funds to go to the pharmacy to help their old aging parents with common colds, which then turn into bigger health issues because they are left untreated. Their living conditions are not the most hygienic living conditions. So when you look at the whole picture, you really understand that oppression is not sometimes always coming from government leaders or the news media that's painting some villain out of a country. There's other types of oppression happening in a lot of different ways. and resistance happening in many, many different ways. And this is the power of going to the field to work on your SDG, to work on your projects. I highly encourage all young people here. It's great that you're attending a conference virtually, but where you will really learn, where you will really make a difference is when you actually go to the field and you talk to the people and you see their living conditions and you sit with them over a cup of tea or coffee or whatever their culture is, and you take a notebook with you like I do, and you shut up, you listen, they talk and you listen. Anytime you visit the field, you're the one doing most of the talking, you're not learning. You are not going to be able to come up with innovative ideas, because what you're doing is you're expressing what you know. And really, in order to help them, what you really need is what they know. And you're not going to get it if you're going to always to be the one to lead conversations. And if you're always going to be the one to think that I have the better idea, I know what you're talking about, my teacher talked about it in this, and I saw a video on it. None of that is anything close to being on the field, looking into their eyes, shaking their hands, sitting down with them, visiting their homes, visiting their schools, looking at how they live, why they live, and what is causing all these factors and all these things that are now turned into very big issues that you're trying to solve. I know that UNESCO Center for Peace is currently planning some field projects that we are looking into for young people to get involved in working on SDG. I highly encourage you to explore those projects with us. But even more so, I would love any one of you to get in touch with me if you're trying to start a project or you're interested in helping a community. I encourage you to do it. I encourage you to try it, because the biggest success here is not that you solve a problem. The biggest success that you can do here is how do you empower people to solve their problems? How do you build them up enough that they can continue solving the problem well after your project is done, well after you exit Nepal, exit Africa, exit India? Now my projects are now currently building in Afghanistan and Syria, and Lebanon is the goal this year. So the goal is not that I bring solutions. The goal is, can I create something that they can continue building, and they continue to stay in touch with you, and you continue to influence those solutions to get bigger and better and keep going, okay? I'm just gonna check quickly how much time do I have, because I like to give you guys questions. I think I have like about a minute left. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties we face, but is there some
I think you can take, if you need some few extra, I think, given the time we lost, you could take a little bit few. Yeah, please.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yes, very
Okay,
important.
so I'll talk about Myanmar and China really quick, since I kindly was given a few more minutes. I don't want you to walk away from knowing what I was able to do in Myanmar and what I was able to do in China. So as Guy mentioned earlier, when I was in Myanmar, I actually went there because UNODC got in touch with me, and they hired me to come to Myanmar. And the reason I chose Myanmar is my family comes from refugees from Myanmar. So there's a history in my own background of coming from a family of refugees. And, I want to tell young people, wherever in the country you are, I'm sure right now media covers refugees a lot, and you see migration happening all over the world, displacement happening all over the world, people being moved from one side of the country to another side of the country. And, we think that such experience is, maybe it's hard for you to imagine what that experience is. Maybe it's hard for you to not really grasp the trauma they go through. But I grew up in a family of refugees, and my grandmother is 88 years old. And to this day, my grandmother dreams about the house she had to flee from Myanmar. She remembers the roads, the lakes, the signs, her neighbors that she had to leave. People having to leave forcefully their home to find themselves safety, people being forced out by military or government. Let me tell you, they never forget that trauma. They never forget how they have to leave everything they know, everything they have, to go to a country that they know that they will not be immediately accepted in, that they have to go through many challenges of no money, no health care, no help, no family. That type of trauma kind of stays with you for the rest of your life. So when I went to Myanmar, the one thing my grandmother said to me was, don't go there. This is after 65 years, having never visited Myanmar ever again. She said to me, don't go there. They don't want you there, because people remember. People don't just forget what they have to leave, how they have to exit. And if you ever talk to a refugee, here's what I want you to do. The first thing I want you to do is the humanity thing. I want you to hold their hand, and I want you to say, I know that was hard for you, and I'm glad that you're now okay. These words comfort them more than any money or resources that you can give them, because what it shows them is that their suffering is not unnoticed. Their pain is not over, okay? Because it really is not over. It's really not over. So when I went to Myanmar, I worked in post-conflict youth there. Outside the UN, I started my own project. And what I did was I worked with young people your age who had to live in conflict zones. They are in the middle of all the adults and military around them fighting all the tribal wars and the military and the Myanmar government. And here I am surrounded by youth of 16, 17, 18 years old. And the question they had for me was, Rosie, am I always just going to live in a war? I want to be a doctor. I want to be a teacher. And I have never even been to a school. My whole life has been surrounded by land and surrounded by opium and surrounded by this. And I looked at them and I said, you coming here to learn peace and conflict? You asking me how to resolve conflicts in your community is the first step that's going to change your life, because you're going to take the knowledge that I can give you and you're going to use it to be the difference maker in your community. And I encourage them to speak to the elders in their community using different knowledge, ideas. And you know what I told them to do? What I'm asking you to do. I told them to be hope makers. Go build hope in your community. I said, you are young. Don't look at what others have done wrong. Look at what you can do right, and how can you change the relationships among young people that you're living with and are facing conflicts. Because at that age of 16, 17, 18, like most of you who are going to be heading to college, you're picking a career, you're picking a major. Some of you are dreaming about some amazing universities like Stanford and Columbia. They're actually 16, 17 years old, and they're going to be taking leadership positions in their community. They're going to be the one making decisions about women. They're going to be the one very soon taking over for their elders. Now imagine if you're taking over for your elder, how can you be different? You can only be different if you know different. Well, how do you know different? You know different by meeting different people. A girl from UNODC who's decided to voluntarily start a peace and conflict class. If I hadn't volunteered, they would have never met me because they can't pay you. I'm from Colombia. They cannot pay for my lectures. But I wanted to resolve some type of conflict and peace because of my grandmother. And I wanted to give back to the community. So I started a program, and this youth came flooding in because they wanted to learn different. They wanted to do different. And we ran that program for as long as we could because they were actually taking buses from their conflict zones to come to my class. And sometimes their buses were stopped by the military. They weren't allowed to come. Their lunches would be taken away. Sometimes their buses would be stalled in the middle of the road, and they just wouldn't show up. And here I am waiting for 2 hours for a class. I knew something went wrong. So what I'm trying to show you is this is what young people across the world are actually going through. And the fact that all of us are gathered here today and we are learning about international MUN, but the biggest thing we are learning for all of you is all of you coming from all different countries, you're educated, you have technology, you have ideas. How will you work together? What will you do with all the privilege that you and I have to make it better for somebody else? Your technology is your privilege. Your skin color is also a privilege. Your education is another privilege. Your health, if you are in good health right now, and if you can get over-the-counter medication wherever you are, that is also a privilege. You have to understand your privileges and then understand that many, 3/4 of the population in this world, 3/4, that's 75%, including parts of United States, do not have this privilege yet. But yet you have the privilege. So you must go forward and create hope for others. So I think this is maybe now, Guy, would you like me to end the talk? Sorry for the tech difficulties. I hope to hear young people. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm really happy to see you spilling out your heart, because this is not a talk. It's just, and there's some few things that you said that actually I would like to really emphasize that before letting the student ask questions. The thing is, we have a very short life on this earth. We don't know how long. Some live to be 20, 30, 50, some live longer. But what matters at the end is what we've done with the life we've lived. I think that Rosie has shown you how from the native Colombia, she went back and became, we used to say change maker, but to new term is now is hope makers. And I hope I hope we are going to work together to get some of the leaders of the Peace Land initiative that we have, Peace Land. I think it will be very important for each one of them to listen to this talk. We're going to make it available online, and also I don't know if you could share your presentation also to make it available. So this is, I'm really touched and moved because again, like I said, it's about feeling you, hearing you and knowing that it doesn't matter. You're probably born in Colombia. I was born somewhere in Cameroon, but we are this. I can feel you just the way I think you feel me. So I think that's what the young people are learning today. So thank you again, Rosie.
Sure, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Rodrigo, I'll let you run the part. I know Frank has been raising his hand. I'll let you, Rodrigo, run the part, the Q&A session.
Thank you, Guy, and also thank you, Rosie, for your amazing conference. Anybody who has a question, please can raise your hand in the Zoom settings. We don't have too much time for questions, so we are going to have just a couple of them, okay? So we start with Frankie from China. Please introduce yourself really fast and make your question, Frankie.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna ask a question. It's like, yeah, I'm really impressed by your, yeah, I'm really impressed by your talk, and it's like may I try to guess the core points of this talk? It's like to having a consideration from others, to try to wear on somebody's shoes, like that.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. And Franken, it's going a little bit beyond in being in their shoes. It's walking in their shoes and helping them wear better shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's about not, so I think what you're saying is compassion is needed. Like we can show compassion, we can show empathy. But what I'm asking young people to do here today is take action to build hope for them. Leave them with something that they can see themselves better. So, Franklin, you're absolutely right. First step is be considerate, walk in their shoes. The second step is use your talents, your gifts, your ideas, your resources, your privileges as much as you can ethically and in a humanitarian way to create a path of solution and hope for them. Yes.
So thank you very much.
Thank you, Franklin. Thank you.
Thank you, Franklin, for your question. And one more question, the last one, we have Isabela Infante. Please, Isabela, introduce yourself and make your question.
Thank you. Well, my name is Isabella, and I really like to talk. It's really amazing. And my question is, how do you find the inspiration to make all that?
How do I find inspiration to, what was the last part? Is
To make all that you did.
To make
The
all
inspiration
the
to do what you've done. You have to do all the things.
The inspiration.
Yeah.
So one of the things that really inspire me is how do, and this is a great question. I hope everybody can learn from Isabella's question. I wish I could tell you it was my Ivy League degree or the fact that I lived a great life. No, it was none of that. One of the things that really inspired me and today inspires me is how do I become a humanitarian who can make a difference? It is the characteristic, the moral behavior, the ethical thinking of a humanitarian that drives me. As much as I want to jump in and you may think I'm helping, but I like to say I am empowering. I still have to do it ethically. I have to do it where people don't get hurt. For example, there are some countries where your solution can actually hurt the local people. For example, I had a project invitation for Iran, and considering how the government treats its locals, I felt that if I did anything in Iran, even virtually, that they may face jail time, they may be persecuted, they may face hardships. So to even bring them solutions, if it brings them harm with the solutions, I don't. And what that is called, it's called moral integrity. Because let me tell you, doing a project in Iran would shine my resume. It would shine it for the PhD programs at Cambridge that I was just interviewed for. But that's not what I did. I put people first. So the inspiration is put people first and do it ethically, do it morally, and do it for them. Always do it for them. I hope that answers the question.
Thank you. This is very important. Yeah. Rodrigo, it's time for one last question, or you think we should move on?
Yeah, we are like 20 minutes late, so yeah, I think
okay, good. Okay, we move on. But what I can promise, Rosie, is that yes, we'll find other venues to share this message, this powerful message. Okay, we actually have something that's coming on the 21st of of March. Please stay in touch on that. We need to talk about that offline. I'd like to have you on that.
Sure.
Okay.
Before I go, I just want to wish all young people an amazing, amazing conference. I want to personally thank you for listening to me. Please feel free to get in touch with me. And guys, I hope to see you on the field with me someday.
Oh,
Get in
definitely.
touch. Come to
Just
the
a matter of
field.
time.
Come to the field. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd like to present a token appreciation. You have this certificate that we'll be sending to you as just say thank you and mark the event. And you really, really touch lives. And again, let's bring that hope makers, across the globe. Okay, I'll be talking about hope makers from now on. Okay.
Thank you.
Rosie.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Enjoy.
Thank you, Rosie. Thank you so much for your conference.
Okay. The next.
Okay, we have interlude for 10 minutes for cultural show.
Cultural show. Okay, perfect.
And after that, we continue with the conference from Dr. Roy. So, Brenda, are you there?
Yes.
Thank you, Brenda.
Hi. Our first performance is Nasin Saravani with the song Rafchi.
Hello, I'm Nasima Sarabadani Tafrishi from Tehran, Iran. My school is Farzanagan 5. I'm 12, and this is the 5th year that I play piano. And I'm going to play the Rafti from Mr. Humayun Khorram.
Our second performance is Anisha Meyar with the song Entertainer. Our last performance is Brooke Wang with a calligraphy work. So, Brooke, I don't know if you're here.
Yes, I'm here. Hello everyone, I'm Brooke Wang, coming from Sichuan, China, where Panda's hometown. The calligraph I wrote is an essay poetry as well as a riddle. Do you know what is it? Yes, it is wind. Writing calligraph can make people calm. I always enjoy writing it. In this email, I am honorable to be delegate of Argentina in CSW. I like this country not only because it is beautiful, but also because of football. I began to play football when I was 6 years old, and it is my favorite sport. I hope one day I can play football in Argentina with its famous football star. Thank you.
Thanks, Brooke.
Thank you, Brooke, and also thank you, Brenda, for all the culture show. And right now, Guy, we're gonna keep going with our next speakers. Is our friend Dr. Dipankar Roy from India. So for that, I'm gonna call my friend Alice, so she can introduce our next speaker.
Yes, thank you, Dario. So we're gonna start. First of all, Dr. Dipankar Roy. He is the president and CEO worldwide of International Art Acts, president and CEO also of the Authors Club Worldwide. Dr. Dipankar Roy, a painter, was awarded the Gossi Peace Prize in 2016 after completing his higher studies from Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh. He served the Red Cross for 12 years. He has sought guidance from Rama Nanda, and sorry if I don't pronounce this well, but Bandyopadhyay and Manhit Bawa. His paintings have been exhibited all over the world. At present, he is the regional advisor of the Eastern India of Juba Unstoppable. He has taken initiatives towards COVID-19 relief and rehabilitation of the Sundarbans following Cyclone Amphan, currently the UNESCO Center for Peace Coordinator for India. He is also the president of International Art Acts, as I already mentioned. So welcome for him. And yes, you can start right now. Dr. Dipankar Roy.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you, brother.
It is a wonderful, wonderful occasion, a situation where the whole world is at its last leg of fighting COVID, when you called for this wonderful convergence of the world in this winter camp organized by UNESCO Center for Peace, US Federation, under your leadership. Thank you. My salute to you.
Thank you.
Guy, you are a global peace leader for the youths all across the world. So when I talk global peace, the present days, your face comes in front. In the background, I always have my inspiration, my leader. That's Mahatma Gandhi. You can see it on screen. A series of paintings that I'm doing for last 1 year on him, on different mood and pattern on his message for the world peace. And I know how much that has influenced you, Guy,
Yeah.
for your Peaceland movement. I am extremely happy that I see some of my colleagues from International Art Acts, presidents from different countries are present today.
Yes.
I can see some of them from deep Egypt, Germany, Austria, Nepal, and some more. I wanted to take your permission, Guy, that today I wanted to bring in one of my colleague in this talk of mine, who is also a great painter, an artist. She's a teacher of art who will be sharing this talk with me for a while to show how art actually helps on bringing in peace to our mind. Because first, the peace should come to our mind. It should calm us down. We generally, what we have seen, how COVID has affected us, being within four walls for a long, long time, we have become aggressive. We get aggressive towards our life, towards our family, towards our friends, because we are stressed. And how art, precisely painting, helps to calm our mind, soul down. So I will take your permission to have Oksana. Oksana Stephen is from Germany. She's an artist fellow colleague of mine who will, in a while, will show to all these young kids, to all these young spirits, to all these future young leaders who are growing up in their life to lead this world to a new path, the path that's been laid by our great leaders, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Barack Obama, and at present, I see one, Guy Zocan. I have some friends from Africa also, and Guy, you have left your energy, spirit, soul to them. I know when I talk about you to them, they take you as an icon. We have a couple of future programs where we wanted you to be the guest of honor, to share your mind, your thoughts. So they're so excited. They're extremely excited. You can see some of their expressions in Facebook.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I would like to start my this presentation today. But before I start, I must congratulate your entire team of US Federation, UNESCO Center for Peace. These young leaders, they have put up a great show.
Yep.
They have put up a great show all across the world. When I see the participating countries in this winter, when half of your New York is down half in ice, I can't believe this, that this winter camp is really be possible with so much participation. Amazing. And when we are going on the third phase of lockdown with COVID, I must appreciate my previous speaker, Rosie Chawla.
Yeah.
who has presented a tremendous case study that she is going to throughout her life. She is presenting in such a short span of her life. She has been doing, and you people have given her a platform to speak in front of the world, to present her case study. And Rosie Chawla, my salutes to you. Tremendous, inspiring.
Yeah.
Now, coming down, how we achieve global peace through art. That's what the motive that we at International Art Acts, and that's how the coinage of the name, that art actually act. It actually act on your body, it actually act on your mind, and it helps you people. It helps all. When you are stressed, you open your mind, pick up a canvas, pick up a paper, take a little bit of color, and start putting your mind, with the help of this color, on this piece of canvas or a paper or anything. My colleague Oksana will be showing you that she uses those forbidden food plates, which she transforms with beautiful piece of art with her colors. So how it does help when you see the color of your mind, it travels on the color of the base that you're using. It slowly comes you down. And when it comes you down, it's more like meditation. You actually helps yourself, your spirit, to come to a particular point where you see yourself with a different perspective. And when you see yourself in a different perspective, you actually look at this world with a different perspective. You might see someone whom you may not be able to understand on a normal situation, that how she is feeling at this moment or how he is feeling at this moment. When you are on a peaceful mind, you look at him or her, you understand, well, he is passing through the stress. And your colors, you could share it with him or her. You could inspire him or her to bring out their colors of mind. And slowly you will find that you are connecting a large piece of this world together with the binding of colors. And that's how art acts. That's how art works on global peace. I remember I have a very old senior friend of mine who happens to be, at one given point of time, the Prime Minister of India. I am talking about sometime during 90s, end of 90s. He hails from a royal family of India, Sri Vishwanath Pratap Singh. In his areas, he was called as Raja Vishwanath Pratap Singh. And he gradually went into become Prime Minister of this country. I myself has got the opportunity to work with him through one of my former guru, let Sri Manjit Bawa, who was a great friend of him also. I have seen that end of the day, when he's out of his South Block office of Prime Minister's office, he came to his home, he had his dinner, he walks into the studio. And at 12 midnight, we used to be there to be part of his work while he was working on canvas with his color. And that's how he could stress out his whole days of prime ministerial duties stress through colors. And after a few hours, he's a changed man. He's a man who is out from his day's stress, and he walks into his personal closet, goes for his sleep to be ready for the next day, to head towards his office, the office of the Prime Minister of the country. So my point is that I could see many of you whom Guy is grooming as future leaders of this world. And who knows, some of you will become the premier of your own country. Some of you may become a president or a prime minister of your country, or maybe a minister of your country, and lead from the front. To all of you, I say that color helps. The only thing is, stay close to the positive colors of mind, to the positive colors of the world. And you could really present this world a great piece of yourself. It helps. It helps to take out a new you. It helps to take out a new you in this world, looking at you with a different perspective as a different leader. In fact, Guy, we were getting ready to receive you in November. If you remember, we were supposed to have a world conference here where you were supposed to be a keynote speaker.
Yeah.
I had, along with other things, to hand it over to you as a part of India. I also have a couple of small tile of canvases, colors and brushes for you.
Okay.
So that when you go back home, you create a small part of your house, a small studio of yours.
Okay.
And as now, I know you already play with many colors, the colors of people's mind. When you travel all across, you travel between white, between black, between different colors of this nature. Your own small studio will help you to take out your mind on different piece of small, big canvases, which we people will like to see in days to come. But I must tell you that after a huge traumatic couple of years the world has gone through, we are slowly coming to a new track, a new peace order, a new order of this world where we are talking about non-violence. We are talking about no color, difference when we talk about no difference of principles to divide, when we are talking about the principles of uniting each other. We have been just greeted by a wonderful, wonderful person as a president of America, by very, very hard work of people like Guy and his entire democratic entourage. And believe me, the entire world had a sigh of relief that you people has brought in a peace order to this world. I will like if to introduce you Oksana along with me today when we talk about global peace through art. Oksana, are you there? Can you identify so that the control room of Guy can actually share you with me on the screen? Here's Oksana Stephen from Germany. Is Oksana there? I know there are a lot of people, is close to 200.
Over 200, almost 300, because some are.
Hello, can I speak? Dr. Roy, she is under the Yog 40.
She is?
Yeah, she is there under the ID Yog 40.
Okay. Yeah, she should unmute herself. She should unmute herself.
Can she raise her palm?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, perfect.
Ah, there.
Finally, I'm here. So, good morning or good evening. I don't know how I could tell. It's really too late in Germany. All kids are sleeping and dreaming. And I would like to introduce myself and what I'm doing. So I'm Oksana Stefan. I'm really self-taught painter. I was born in a really very small village in Belarus. But now, today, I greet you as president of International Acts for Germany on behalf of artists from Germany. And I'm really very grateful to share with you what I'm feeling, what I'm doing, and so on. So I'm really, my main profession is teacher. So, I got the highest qualification as a teacher of art, and I taught for many years in Belarus the history of art, and I led my own circle art workshop. My students took part regularly and successfully in different art projects in my country and abroad. And during lockdown and Corona, I have got a chance to reveal myself in a new way, and I started to paint intensively. Actually, why I'm here, what I'm doing here in Germany, I have met my husband who came with humanitarian organization to Belarus to help all the people, old people, young people, because after Chernobyl ecological catastrophe in my village, a lot of people died, a lot of kids had cancer, and so it was something which connected us, which helped to work together and to help kids and to help part of life. And the painting, kind of painting I'm doing, I have learned it really in Germany. When I was with my kids, we worked together with a youth house here in the place where I'm living now. And so I transport my knowledge I get here to Belarus, to my kids. We organized our exhibitions. We showed how we could do our world colorful. And I would like to show you, my dear my dear boys and girls, let me call you this way. I like to see your lovely faces. And I would like to show you how hard was for me, I'm really an old woman, to live in this time, Corona and COVID. Closed in this room, I had nothing, only my wardrobe, my kitchen, my refrigerator. As a woman, I only could cook, ironing and doing some things, and how to do it creative, how to find an art in the normal, usual things. You are closed, you're in these four walls, you are sitting. Okay, and now I would like to show you with what I have started. I'm a woman, and women are like clothes. So how to do art with clothes? So I will try step for step to show you my kind of art. I hope it inspires you to find beauty in small things. Okay, I will share the screen. Okay, on Ton freigeben. Okay. So, it's something I started to do by looking through my clothes to see how I can do it as an art. It's something like a flower. You see, it's something like a flower. You can only put them in a right way and you see this beauty. Then I thought, okay, by cleaning somewhere, I found this IKEA things for decoration New Year tree. And then when I put an onion, then it was a picture. How? Then I started again. Why not? So with IKEA decoration, you can create a small spring onion. You can do some flowers. And then jeans. How to do an art with jeans. So it's something like a face, be cool. And it was a photo of my jeans, and then I colored it with my finger on a cell phone. So, and with 3 of my blazers, I have done my Giacometti, my first Madonna. Okay, then I was in the kitchen, and from the onion, I could do my ballet school. And so on a plate, later I paint on, I did this composition. With a breakfast, I have done Kandinsky. Why not? So you can see Kandinsky color, the very popular artist. You can do this. With a pancake, why not? It's always an art. With the cheese, you can do an iceberg. And then my most favorite banana. What can I do? I can do a copy of a Frank Mark. It's our German painter who painted a yellow dog line on the snow. And then we can do a René Magritte with our banana. And actually with a mask, why not? And Simpson with banana. So then we are going to really Corona. My husband worked with Corona patient, and I saw on one magazine the photo of him, of my husband, dressed in this uniform he worked. And I thought how it was very interesting for me as a material to use, to work with. And I have done my Madonna della Corona. It's my selfie with a plastic bag on above, and I painted a background with my finger in a cell phone. The same selfie, something like a Madonna. So finger painting, it's the next step. Being at home here on our terrace, I have do a photo of me and paint it with a finger in a cell phone. Okay, and then my legs, two going in the stay night, and so this way, so maybe it's a lovely couple, they're doing a small work, but it's my legs, something like a holy people. So, and then by playing games, it's a cat with a joystick, I paint it with a finger. Then it was something funny, and then my favorite subject are abstract painting, portraits, and I tend to stick to hot or wet media like encaustic, watercolor. It's watercolor inside. This I dedicated to my grandma who died on Corona in May. Then watercolor, small painting.
Okay, I'll just interrupt, Oksana.
Uh-huh.
Are you ready with your hot plate?
Yes, I prepared. This is my main things moment. I will stop.
Yeah,
and
you stop this and yes, show how you paint on the hot plate.
So I will try to show you. So it's really hot. I will organize a place. I organized two things. I would like to show you very quick. First of all, I would like to show you how I'm painting. How I'm painting with, okay. So I'm painting encaustic. Encaustic, it's an old technique which is more than 3,000 years old. So it's a plate. It's hot, really. I put a piece of. Do you see it? So and it's a wax beeswax. So. And then I'm trying to start and to show you how we can paint it. So it needs time. It needs time. It's not hot enough. Okay. So might do it small things, small steps. And then our color is blue, color of peace. and inspirational. You can put something. And doing it again.
Guy, I wanted to tell you what she is doing right now. This will be finished and it will be gifted to UNESCO Center for Federation, UNESCO Center for Peace, US Federation. Her work will be gifted to you because this is on a landmark day that post-COVID, the first even winter camp that you are having for the world youths. This, what she is doing right now, will be gifted to UNESCO Center for Peace as a memorabilia, which you can keep it on the wall, that this has been created on this particular seminar, on this particular webinar.
I will going to do it. Okay, I will do. And we can paint as well with this.
What? Okay.
So you will continue and I will paint and will show you.
Okay.
Perfect. So let Oksana do that. I come back to my usual track of talking to you while she completes this work. I wanted to show you why I brought in Oksana in this, that this is how, even if you are on a lockdown situation, even if you are on a four-wall situation where you are maybe for some more time, you are not allowed to go out, you can utilize your home stuff, you can utilize your whatever small colors you have, whatever thrown out pieces you have, you bring all together, create something, your mind becomes free from the stress and you can concentrate on your work, addressing to your neighbors, to your friends, who are in the neighboring countries, to your friends on across the world, on other part of the world, and the colors used as a bridge of communication. And that's how we say that global peace on earth through art. This is how I would like to cut it short, because I know that you have to have other things to continue. But what we are looking forward at International Art Acts and our world of artists, that you all leaders, we can take you in our fold, we can be part of in your fold, and we bridge into one peace land, the peace land which we promotes for this world, the world which really, really deserves it the most. And that's where we walking in with our baggage of color brushes. And we take you people, the leaders, as artists. The artists may not be the leaders, but of course the leaders can become the artists. And that's how we make this world more colorful, more beautiful, and the world blooms.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thanks a ton.
Thank you. I think
Thanks.
yeah, I would like her to show the work. I think she's done. She was displaying the work.
Yes, Oksana.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, thank you. Wow, such a beautiful work. Thank you.
It's encaustic.
Thank you so much. Okay.
So this goes to you, actually. This goes to
Yeah,
you.
definitely. I'm looking into receiving that. I will be in our office. We're going to display it in our office. Yes, in memory of this day. Thank you so much.
It's particularly this time in your world time, at the world clock. This has been created.
Amen.
To
That's wonderful.
memorize, and it's a commemorative piece for you.
Yes, our winter camp 2021.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know it's very late in Germany. Thank you. You can go and have some rest now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So okay. Okay. As you know, you receive so many awards from us, so this is just one plus, right? Just a token of appreciation. My brother.
I share it with the whole world of leaders and future artists.
Okay, thank you for your contribution, and it's always great to have you. And to, you know, like I see, all these young people are going to realize that the importance of art, how it can declog the brain and get us to do whatever you want to do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you so much. And I turn back to you, Rodrigo. What's next?
Also, thank you, Dr. Roy, for your amazing conference, and also thank you to the artists for their
presentation,
their production. So right now we're going to keep going with the IMON session. It's time for IMON. Today I know that some delegates are starting to write their working paper, their resolutions. So tomorrow is the final day and we're going to have the closing ceremony. So yes, now it's time for IMON. All the delegates can join to the committee session. They will find the link in their emails.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Again, it was a remarkable evening as always. You never cease to surprise me in a good way. Thank you. Thank you very much. To the delegates, I'm looking forward to receiving their resolution papers. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Good luck.
Bye, everyone, guys. Keep your committees.
Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Boy, boy, boy.
Yes, bye everyone.
Bye, everyone.